Google Ad Manager offers a lot of powerful tools for ad optimization. Let's imagine Ad Manager like a house. And inside that house are different bedrooms. And in Google Ad Manager, we call them orders. It really depends on how you want to set up things on Google Ad Manager, but we normally do one order for each ad network and another separate order if it's separate domain in scenarios wherein you have different or multiple websites under the same Ad Manager account. Bottom line is, it really depends on how granular you want your reporting to be and how efficient you'd like your ad optimization to be. And when you open these doors or these orders, you're going to see line items. And in the line item is where all the magic happens. That means this is where you can control the date and time when you want this ad to start delivering, the price or the rate agreed with the rep, your targeting criteria, and the creatives that will display on the site. Let's open this sample order right here. And let's create a sample line item. Now let's focus on the most important controls within the line item for your ad optimization. First is giving it a name. It has to be very descriptive, and we highly recommend including the name of the ad network you're setting up, because when you do your troubleshooting on the site, it's easier to identify where this line item is coming from. Then you can describe which ad unit or inventory is being targeted, the country, or the device, depending on what's applicable. Choose the best or appropriate line item type. In the previous lesson, we discussed about which line item types you should run and how they work. Within the line item, you're also able to call or identify and target relevant or appropriate ad sizes. This allows you to separate targeting for device versus mobile, for example, so you only call the right creatives or the right ad sizes. Labels is another control you have in your line item that allows you to prevent, for example, competing ads or advertisers from serving on the same web page. When you create a new label, you have to go to Admin Inventory, and here you have 4 different types of labels. Competitive exclusion means line items won't deliver on the same web page as line items from other advertisers that are assigned the same label. Ad exclusion prevents line items from being delivered to ad units when the Ad Manager ad exclusion rule matches the label. Ad category restricts or allows serving of ads belonging to Ad Exchange ad categories. If you select this option, you won't be able to apply other label types. Ad unit frequency cap will limit the number of times creatives can serve. In this example, we created a competitive exclusion label for airlines. Give it a name. Again, this is arbitrary. You can nominate any name or label you want. Once you have that saved and you create your line item, they will show up here as an option. So if I have multiple line items and I assign the same label in here, all the advertisers with this label will not be able to serve on the same web page because I assigned it as a competitive exclusion label. Now, if you want to override this setting, then you can enable same advertiser exception. Otherwise, keep it disabled. In the delivery settings is where you can control when you want this ad or line item to start delivering and when you want it to end. You can also set up impression caps, especially if you're setting up a price priority line item type. This allows you to control the volume of impressions to serve, especially for new ad networks, until you rule out discrepancies. For example, I got an offer from this ad network and they want me to send them 1 million impressions per day. Then I can go ahead and set them up here as price priority, but I will only limit them to 20,000 impressions, at least for the next couple days. Once we have ruled out discrepancies, I can go ahead and remove the limit if needed. For accurate reporting, make sure you put in the rate here as agreed with the rep or based on their actual performance. For price priority, we normally put the real or true CPM in here, and that is calculated by the ad network's net revenue divided by the volume of impressions that we serve based on GAM report times 1,000, you get the true CPM. The next set of controls you have here is how you want the creatives to serve, how you want the creatives to display, how you want it rotated, and whether or not to serve this line item to child-directed ad requests. Day and time, you can control when exactly you want this ad or line item to deliver, and whether to follow the publisher's time zone, meaning the time zone set on your Google Ad Manager account, or the user's time zone, meaning the person visiting your site wherever they are located or whichever time zone they're in. Next is frequency cap. You can limit the number of times this line item can serve per unique user. For example, I'm going to set 5 impressions per 2 hours, which means this line item cannot serve more than 5 impressions every 2 hours for every unique user. And I can add up to 10 layers of frequency cap. Let's try to add another one and see how it works. Now, for example, I'm going to set 20 impressions per day. This means this line item cannot serve more than 5 times every 2 hours and no more than 20 times or 20 impressions per 24 hours or per day for every single unique user. So if this line item keeps winning, for example, and let's say after 8 hours it was already able to serve 20 impressions, then it will stop serving for that day and it will wait again the next day because it has already exhausted the limit of 20 impressions per day. And again, that is for every single unique user. Next is your targeting parameters. This section is very powerful. You can say, for example, I'll target a specific geo, and let's say I'll target the United States. Then this line item is only eligible to serve if the user is located in the United States. Aside from that, you can also exclude. So for example, I chose to exclude United States. Then that means this line item can serve for users located in any country except the United States. These are the advantages when using an ad server like Google Ad Manager. These are things you cannot do if you hard code or directly deploy the tag on your site, like for example, an AdSense tag directly on the site without the use of Google Ad Manager. The use of an ad server is extremely helpful in ad optimization.